Hey, good morning everybody. Welcome back to Drawing with Michael. I am, of course, Michael. Today is day 23 of Inktober. Continuing on with my quest to do characters from the Harry Potter universe and Fantastic Beasts universe. Today I'm going to work on Bellatrix LeStrange. Working on toned Strathmore paper using a simple carmine red Col Erase pencil. Been enjoying the Inktober fun. Hope you guys have been doing that as well. Not much to report, just other than been super busy. As always, 'tis the season, right? 'Tis the season to be busy. It's coming through the end of the year, and a lot of times, a lot of companies want to get stuff before the, stuff done before the end of the year, before Chinese New Year happens, especially if it's in the manufacturing world. Chinese New Year, of course, being the beginning of the year, lasting quite a while. Of course, also they want to get stuff on the books before the end of the year. And that's basically what's happening to me. A lot of companies are taking trips. Of course, then you have what's known as the holidays. What are those again? Holidays? I don't know what holidays are. I can't even remember the last time I really had a holiday. Oh, what's a holiday? I kid. Occasionally I'll take a short vacation. Nothing major. Not because I don't want to, it's just that right now, just because of the way that I do things, it's not the easiest thing for me to take a vacation, even though I might want to. Anyway, whoops, I dropped my pencil. So, like I said, I'm working on Bellatrix LeStrange today. I'm going to go a little bit more stylistic heavy with her. Her hair, I think, has a character of its own. And one of the things that I noticed, especially when I started doing research, of course I've seen the movies, of course, I haven't read the books, but I have seen the movies. She's portrayed as kind of a psycho, an unpredictable, loose cannon, which I love in the context of the story, arc and line, and everything that goes on in that universe. But she's just a very interesting character, to say the least. I don't know a lot about her per se in terms of her nuance, how she was in the book. But anyway, so I've started out, I got kind of distracted here down in the body because I'm still figuring out exactly how I want to do her characterization of her head. So yeah, just doing the character, man. Doing the character, bro. So I did the Niffler yesterday, and I got a lot of really positive comments about it, which is fantastic. It's always nice to get comments, especially whenever you do this every day. It's nice to get comments on stuff. But on the other hand, I really had fun doing that particular piece. A lot of times I do a piece, I don't really have fun doing it. Of course, drawing is fun in general, but so if we can all agree, sometimes certain pieces are better than others. So we're going to have the hair come down. The hair literally has a life of its own. She's, and her eyes are definitely going to be part of her, her kind of psychotic nature. So you guys know that I teach. I don't know if any of my students watch my channel, but I teach, and we just got through doing themed illustration. Of course, the theme being Halloween. And hold on, my wife is messaging me, of course. Okay. We did themed illustration, and with Halloween, you can go in so many different directions, from different iconic characters of Halloween, jack-o'-lanterns, stuff like that, and I really left it kind of open to the artists to really determine that path of what they wanted to do. And I was delightfully surprised at quite a few of the pieces, right? So the college that I teach at is not necessarily an art college, but they do have a very nice art program. So a lot of the students going in don't have a lot of, I mean, there's not a submission process per se. So there's a lot of things that you have to remember, especially whenever you're in the collegiate world. You know, even though they do have certain majors, graphic design majors, it's not a art school. So it doesn't, you're not there to really push and specialize certain majors. You know, like at the college that I went to, Ringling College of Art and Design, they have specific majors: graphic design, illustration, film, game design, computer animation, photography, you know, fine art, printmaking. So all these majors have classes that are attached to them. And the school is very specialized. That's why, you know, one of the reasons why it's so daggum expensive is because of the specialization. But in a college like I am in, I can't expect, you know, the students to be at a level to which maybe an art college student might be at. That being said, I was extremely pleased with what I saw. I definitely have some hard workers and you know, very talented individuals at the school that I'm teaching, and I'm very happy with that. Of course, there's always going to be those that, you know, are there with ulterior motives, but on the whole, I'm very happy with the turnout for all of the projects so far. I've been very, very pleased, to say the least, right? You know, I taught for years and years in an alternate school system, you know, in the private school system, and, you know, I was exposing the kids to art, and there wasn't any real inclination of anybody really wanting to be an artist per se, right? But now that I'm in the collegiate world, you know, I asked the question, how many people here are actually interested in being an artist? And I had a very large turnout of people that wanted to be artists, so that was really cool. So that being said, like I said, I'm very pleased with how the projects have been turning out. You know, and what I always try to express to the kids, I said, talent only takes you so far, right? Talent only gets you so far, and that is the truth. You know, it's work and developing that talent, and that's your responsibility. You know, I equate school, you know, I've poo-pooed school in the past, but the reality is the school gives people structure. That's what it is. It's structure. You know, a lot of people need that structure. I know I did. When I was, you know, up and coming, that's basically what school does, is it gives you structure. It gives you that understanding of how to create things artistically and be able to explain them verbally, and plus it gives you a nice rounding as far as art history goes. You get to understand, you know, where certain style cues in the world come from, and basically, you know, school, especially art school. See, art school is different than, you know, I've explained this before. Art school is different than, let's say, a school you go to for accounting. Because, you know, to get an accounting job, a lot of times you have to have that degree. You know, they can basically look at your degree and say, okay, this person has satisfied the requirements for the accounting degree, therefore it's okay to hire them. But when it comes to art, art's a little bit different. It's so subjective, and it depends on the opinion of the viewer. So even though, you know, somebody might have an art degree, their particular style or what they've done in school might not have as much weight as, let's say, another student that didn't go to art school but has really put in the work and the effort and has that extra degree of talent, developed the talent, and their work really shines through. You know, I would never sit here and poo-poo school per se. It's what's basically happened in the world is the cost. The cost involved with going to a higher education is so massive, especially whenever it comes to artwork. So the return, unless you start making $150,000 a year right off the bat, which is not very likely in the art field, it's going to be hard for you to justify that education bill, whenever you receive it. If you took out loans, or if or if your parents are paying for things, it's not an easy pill to swallow, so to say. Okay, so her hair almost has a character of its own, right? So what I basically do whenever I do hair, I'm not thinking about it in terms of each individual strand. I'm thinking of it in terms of form and how it lays and how gravity affects it, and how I can put, and maybe put a little bit of character up here and there, right? So it comes around here, it kind of goes off the page. I'm gonna have it come around. She's got what I call crazy hair. And literally, that is one of the one of the most descriptive qualities about this particular character, other than being a loose cannon and kind of insane. Right? Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to have this other strand come around. It's going to kind of go on her neck just a little bit. Now all these items right here, they won't be seen. So what I'm going to do, because I wanted to make sure I knew where they were, I actually adjusted her jawline over a little bit. Right? And then she's got this white streak that comes down like this. So that'll be the white streak right there. And all the rest of this will be jet black. And she's got a couple scriggly strands that come out. Right? Maybe have one or two that comes down. And she's got these dark circles around her eyes, right, to really accentuate the shape and form of her eyes. And I have her hair, and I have it come around, right? So, like I said about hair, I'm thinking about it in terms of form. So whenever I drew it, I didn't go in and sit there and draw. Let me see if I can get a piece of paper here. Excuse me. Individual strands. I'm not sitting there doing this. Right? I'm not doing that. Basically what I'm doing is, in terms of, a circle, let's say this is the face right here. Okay? Let's say it's a side view. Okay? Here's the nose, here's the mouth, here's the chin, right? Here's the ear, the neck, so on and so forth. Okay. Eye cavity. Okay. So, in terms of hair, I'm not sitting there and going individual strands. What I want to do is think about it in terms of form. Right? And how it's laying on this round surface. So it's one big shape, right? And here's the basic shape that I'm going to have. Okay? Here, 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 right? And this comes out like this. So in terms of gravity, gravity is always pulling down. Or if there's wind, wind will affect hair because it's light. So if it's just at rest, you're going to have you're gonna, let's say it's curly, right? So even though this is an oval shape, I'm gonna still draw it like it's kind of a filled sock, you know, a filled sock, right? Expands like this and expands outward, especially down at the bottom because of all the stuff that's in it. Let's say it's filled with sand. So whenever I start doing my hair, then I start getting into how it lays, right? So then maybe I have a couple strands here, and in terms of the part, maybe the part's through here, but I can't quite see the part. Okay? And it comes over, because again, I'm thinking this round form of the head. Okay? And then you have, maybe here's where the part comes, and here's the forehead that comes up, and maybe it comes under a little bit, and this is all under. Maybe you have hair on the other side. So that's how I basically do hair. I don't think of it in terms of individual strands. I'm always think of it like it's a shape and a form, right? And whenever I get to the edges, of course, then you can draw some individual strands. But on the whole, and especially whenever you're thinking about lighting, right? Lighting. So if lighting, it's coming from this direction right here, this is going to be darker, right? Maybe I've got some strands come here. They kind of squiggly out. And the strand comes here, right? And here's the other part of her, under part of her chest, right? She's got her prison uniform on because she's a villain. She's a villain, or at least we think she's a villain. She's probably thinking she's doing everything that, you know, correctly, because that's how villains are. They think they're in the right, but they're not. They're in the wrong. And she's also got some jacked up teeth, right? You know, her teeth are, again, part of her character. That you need to remember, right? We'll shadow this a little bit. We'll shadow this a little bit. And then we're going to shadow under here, because that comes around right there. We're going to have this as part of her nose and eye socket. Kind of comes around like that. Like that, okay? All right, so now we're going to jack her teeth up slightly. And again, if you look, instead of starting out drawing these jacked up teeth, what I did was I basically went in and drew this little form right here, and then I used that as my guide. And the further back it gets, the smaller they get. Okay. Okay, here. Smaller. There. Maybe her tongue's back here. We're going to shadow this in just slightly. Just like that. I think that's good enough for now. Kind of crazy looking. You know, I like the simple quality of the red line drawing. Just the simple, easy, rough nature of it. You know, I really like that a lot, and I always have, actually. Okay, this comes here, here, neckline, here, shadow. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you guys on time lapse really quick so you can see the inking process. just so you can, because of course it is Inktober. Oops, I lost my eraser. No! So, anywho. Kind of has a Beetlejuice quality to it, doesn't it? And she's got her eyebrows that come here. I'm going to go ahead and accentuate those. It definitely has a Beetlejuice quality to it. I did not intend that at all. Like the Beetlejuice animated series. Sorry about that. Anyway, watch the time lapse. Okay, so now I'm just going to go in and put in some really just a little bit of tone here and there, a little bit of value, yeah, right, kind of push the and what's really nice about these alcohol-based markers is it will pick up the col erase pencil and it will blend it into the paper, which is so nice, right? Unfortunately, this marker is dying. This marker is dying. It's sad. And almost whenever you get in there and you just start applying this marker and it affects the pen just a little bit, it almost has a watercolor quality to it, you know, which I love. I love watercolor. I'm just not very good at it yet. Okay, I think that's about all I have time for today. Hopefully you guys have learned something or enjoying the videos. I hope. So that's it for today. Like and subscribe and share if you like what you see. More videos posted all the time. We will continue on our quest for Inktober. And then after Inktober ends, I'm not quite sure where I'm going to land. We'll see as far as what kind of video I'm going to put out, but we'll see. But stay tuned. Hit that notification bell. We'll get more videos out to you as soon as possible. Thank you guys, and we'll see you. Let me sign it. This is number 23, 2019. MC. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.